Oh,
All right, here we go. Hey, wow, that was quick. We're live. Hi. Oh, wait a minute. You're not Phil. Hi, Nor.
Hey, how's it going?
All right. Hi, Joe. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Wow, jumped up to 10 already. Hey, Charlie. Phil wasn't feeling too good today, so he's home with the sniffles or something. He's not going to, he said he'd get in on the chat at some point, but it's just Nor and I. Of course, we got Joe online. Joe, can you hear us okay?
I can hear you guys great.
Awesome. And
Super happy to be here.
wow. Hi, Richard. I don't even know how to spell or how to pronounce that name you wrote on there, Richard. So, hey, Jessica's giving us a thumbs up. We got good sound. Hey, Keith. And
Who I
Jesse.
see John Beresford.
John? Where's John? Jesse
Oh,
Bradford.
sorry, that's Jesse
Jesse
Bradford.
Bradford. He's one
My
of our
brain plugged in John Beresford.
Jesse is one of our Cincinnati guys. Hey, Sean, how are you? Home run derby time. Let's go.
Jesse, we're still waiting to get the tracking numbers from Cardio, but they've already made it through all the priority orders, and I think everything should be out and in the mail for everybody within, if it didn't all go out today, it should be getting filled in the next day or two.
Okay, I think Joe's seeing the chats faster than us, Nor. Where do I get my chat on here?
He's checking it live.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of a delay.
We got a
on our
slight
side.
delay. Okay. But there's my chat. All right. Whoa. There. Nor, Richard says hi.
Hey, Richard.
Richard, I really don't have a clue how to pronounce that. What the heck? Oh, there. Jesse said no tracking, no cards. That's what Joe was replying to. All right. Jesse, you should see something really soon. It's moving along. We're getting there. I'm gonna. Well, let's do this.
It's a big night, though. Very exciting.
Yeah, we got some news for you guys. I guess we'll go back to YouTube. All right, I'll see a slight delay though watching it on YouTube. Oh, I can't do. Well, we'll leave it like that. All right, guys. Want to thank you all for tuning in. Look at that, 15 already. Jesse says, I figured just starting to itch for those packs. I need the extra King Arthur foil for Doug. Yes, yes, thank you. Everybody's trying to get that King Arthur for me. Somebody posted one on Discord yesterday. What was that? Whose was that? Do you know who that was?
Oh,
It might have been, maybe Sean did. I know Sean opened one of the rare King Arthurs.
Sean who? Which Sean?
Sean Sawyer.
Sorry. Oh, okay.
We got the two first boxes off the line, which is what we did the draft event with this weekend, which
Okay.
was very, very fun and went great. And every single person's like, I can't wait to draft again. But now we got to wait till we get the packs.
Yeah. Well, it won't be too much longer, right? Oh, there's John. John's in. Lawrence, Mr. Keffer, how are you?
Yeah, John Beresford was at the draft, and he's saying, this set is amazing to draft. I agree. And I think we're even going to tweak a tiny bit of the format. As we were doing it, a couple of people had a great idea that I think is going to make it even more fun.
Good. All right. Good.
Welcome, Eric Counts. I see Eric Counts in the chat.
Sean, who thinks he's going to hog up all the King Arthurs. He is wrong. Charlie said Chris Rice posted the King Arthur foil. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chris was teasing us all, wasn't he? Hey, Eric. Anthony, you got a tracking number, right? Is yours still showing Wednesday delivery? It's going to be something else. Richard says, you told me that. He don't know how to read. Look at me. I can read it. I can't pronounce it. There's too many C's in there. Too many L's. The Traveling Goof, how are you? Yeah. Doug Taylor.
Hey, Larry.
Reverend Larry, how are you, sir? I see you're moving some boxes and some power stations. I'm coming up short on some power stations, Larry. I hope you don't make yourself too short on those. People really want those power stations right now. Hey, Brian. I think if I put them on the the website, they'd be gone in like minutes. Anthony says Wednesday at 7 p.m. That would
Right.
suck if you got to wait all day. But, you know, if you're at work, what else you going to do but sit and wait? You can go to work and wait, right? Who took your name? I don't know. Who's got my name, Richard? By the way, I forgot to announce, I'm here with the podcast with Nor, the only guy who has already qualified
Oh yeah.
for the Nationals. So,
There we go, Nor. Right now the competition's looking pretty easy.
how many seats do you expect to have in the Nats?
So we're not sure exactly. I mean, we're leaving space for at least 100, but we're right now. What our plan is anyone that tops 8 in NAOL events, anyone who tops 8 a regional is going to get an invite. Anyone who we're going to do a raffle at each event, including the Western Shootout that's coming up. So people are going to get the random raffles from attending an NAOL event. That way, if we want to get people in that don't necessarily make the top, and then when all those are figured out and we have our list of people, we're going to go to the cardio ratings for multiple formats and say, okay, here's the top 10 people from Constructed that don't already have an invite. And then those people are also going to get an invite. And then in addition to that, if it works out the way we want, I believe we're holding the Nationals. We're definitely doing something in conjunction with Pandemonium. I don't want to speak for them because everything's preliminary till it's not. But I do believe we're going to run some kind of a qualifying event the night before, the day before. So people will have like a last chance qualifier to qualify as well.
Kind of like we do for Champ of Champs.
Exactly.
I think that's a great idea.
Yep. So that's our plan.
What if somebody top 8s in 2 different events? The second event that they top in, will it pass down to whoever finishes 9th or not?
No, that's why we're doing the thing with the ratings, because we assume there's going to be a lot of similar people who top 8. And so right now the plan is to use the ratings. But if we get to the end of the year and you know we have 8 people signed up because the same 8 guys win every tournament and some fluke, then we'll let a lot more people in. You know, the idea with the first one is we want there to be a little bit of a chase. There are a little bit of like, so it actually means it isn't completely open.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we want to make sure that it's a really great field with a lot of awesome players doing interesting things. The other thing to note about it is, I don't know if we've actually said this out loud, but our current plan is to have the Skybound set released January 15th. We may bump that up and try to get it out before Christmas. We're still ironing that out with our licensing partners. But we do know we're going to hold the 2025 Nationals in February, probably around one of the first or second week. And that's going to be in conjunction with the release of the Invincible Season 4. And the Invincible cards will be legal for the Nationals. So that way, when you go play in the Nationals, you're going to be playing with all these new cards. So that's just something to keep in mind about the Nationals as well. It's going to be a really fun tournament where people are going to have to try to use the new cards that are just coming out.
All right. It does sound fun. Hey, Ricky, how are you? John says he has no tracking as of 6 p.m. I don't think the tracking is actually going to show up through the Kickstarter. You'll need to get an email, I think. Isn't that right, Joe? Or do you know?
They're supposed to be providing us with the tracking list for everything that went out last week. And so this is just the guy that runs the shipping department at Cardio had a personal health issue right at the end of last week. And I'm not going to go into any details, but I don't know if he even received my email. So if I don't hear from him anything today, I'm going to reach out to our other Cardio contact tomorrow morning and see if we can get an update.
Okay, good. And Ricky, Anthony's going to put a tent up by his mailbox and camp out. I like that idea.
That's great.
Should be warm enough now, right? Make sure you post pictures. I want to see that. Charlie?
I can't wait for the flood of pictures. I mean,
Right.
I feel like either today or tomorrow,
Yep.
there's just going to be like 200 posts of everyone opening their cards.
Yeah.
We hope, right?
Yeah.
Charlie wants to know, is the Nationals going to be a multi-format like draft and modern, or just modern?
I would love if we were including limited formats in it, but I think, we're trying real hard not to try to do too many things at once.
Yeah.
And between, 6 different conventions, planning 4 regionals, a nationals, and creating, the first 3 sets that are going to come out in 2025, which is going to consist of, 700 original images with 30 different artists. We've got a lot of irons in the fire for what we're doing, and still setting up the licensing deals for the rest of the sets. I think most likely we'll stick with modern for the nationals this year, but I can tell you, after having done the draft, it was so fun. And literally, we drafted into the night, that we broadcasted some of it on the Discord, and then I got in the car to drive home, and people who had just done the draft called me in the car to tell me how fun it was, and we had to do it again.
Awesome. It is going to be a very simple thing to draft with these cards, the way they're packed. So that'll be kind of cool.
But you'd be surprised, the only thing I was thinking about is if, because I was a hardcore Magic drafter, that was how I would get my cards every set. John Beresford, who's in the chat, we used to stay at Pandemonium after it closed with a group of 8, and we would draft sometimes till the sun was coming up and we saw the commuters out the window. And, Magic, there's a lot of small choices because you're drafting one card at a time. And so I was worried that the Rochester draft style would be so many less choices because you're only drafting 6 characters. But there was so much table talk and debating about who was going to do what. And it was just such a fun experience. And I think we found a way with the uncommons to change a little bit of the format. So there's a little bit of a 4th round of drafting that's going to add a lot more strategy into the choices and give you a lot more choices as a player. And I'm super excited to make the update as soon as we finalize exactly how it's going to work.
Nice. Ricky wants to know, are you going to add some drafts to some of the conventions?
That I would love to do. The biggest problem we've had right now with the convention space is, before we sort of knew when we were going to be able to do the announcements, you guys all know because you've been with us on this journey, the licensing process took longer than we thought because we're new to it. Not longer than it normally takes, but there was a learning curve doing this for the first time. And so by the time we knew when we were signing everything, it was a little past when we could get a lot of space at the conventions. And so this year, while we were able to get booth space, landing the gaming space at a lot of them was a little bit harder. So if we can get the space, we want to be doing fire and fill drafts all day, which is what most people do. Once 8 people are signed up, they all get a text, they come back, they run a draft. So we absolutely want to be doing that, but it might be a little bit more toward the 2026 convention season.
Okay. I will see if I can add some drafts to Origins. We might be able to do that. It looks like.
Oh my God, I would love it. I'm telling you right now, if you run drafts at Origins, I'm going to make the other guys run the demos at the booth, and I'm going to come draft.
All right. I'm going to hold you to that. We're going to run drafts.
Dude, totally. Tell him that'll be, because that's work. I mean, come. Joe's going to come play. Come do a draft with him.
Yeah, we'll do it. I'm about ready to start the advertising for Origins too. So we'll kind of let everybody know in the advertising that there'll be a lot of drafts. We'll add drafts maybe on Saturday and Sunday. Joey says add some draft beer. You mean root beer, right, Joe?
Well, just a reminder, guys, if you visit, and I really need to figure out which bar it is because I keep spacing.
It's Barley's.
Barley's. Yes, that's exactly what it is. So Barley's.
Told you.
There you go. If you go down to Barley's, there's going to be we've sponsored all of the pint glasses for Friday and Saturday. Yep. So all of the pint glasses are going to have Overpower imagery on them. So.
Yeah. From what I hear, last year they only made the pint glasses available at lunch and or dinner, so you couldn't go in at any time during the day. But I'll follow up on that.
I'm not sure about that. I was under the impression, I may be wrong, but I thought they told me there was 1,000 glasses per day. I thought that's what they said. And again, I'm doing a lot of things, so don't
Yeah.
hold me to anything
Well,
like that I say.
We will probably reach out to Barley's next week because we're all looking for those cards and nobody wants to leave the store in case the shipment comes in. But I'll go down to Barley's next week or maybe later this week and the shipment comes in. Friday we're leaving for Dallas, so kind of a rush schedule. We'll get
You
in
can
touch.
do it, but also they may not even know because it's being handled through, I believe, is Origins Repop. It's whoever the contact is for the convention.
Origins is Gamma.
Yeah, so they're setting up the deal. So I feel free to go check, but you may don't. If you can't find out, let me know and I'll get you the info.
Well, if Barley's don't know, I'll go straight to Gamma and talk to Paul. Paul knows
That's
everything.
actually that's who we're talking to.
Paul's getting a phone call tomorrow, fellas. I will work it out with Paul.
And Paul, just to say it on the air, is awesome.
He
So great
is
to meet him.
fantastic. He's the one who makes sure Origins runs every year. Without Paul, it would be such a chaotic mess. But I'm going to get in touch with him tomorrow. Andrew Taylor showed up. How are you, buddy? You coming to Dallas, Andrew? I know that's a bit of a far trip for you, but the Traveling Goof says he's really excited about drafting, especially since I haven't played a game of Overpower since 1995. Traveling Goof, where are you located? Give me a state. Oh, Sean says checking my email for a shipping update. Wish me luck. And he says nothing. Sorry, Sean. It's
Well,
coming.
Just to be clear too, I don't believe anyone's gotten a shipping update from. We certainly haven't sent it, and I don't think Cardio did. I think the people that were posting the tracking went on, and there's something you can do with UPS to just search your address, and if there's anything coming to your address, it tells you. I think that's how everybody's done it so far.
Yeah, I forget what it's. Some kind. What's it called? Informed delivery, is what it is through the USPS. And I tried to do it with the business. It let me register for the account, and then it said my store's address was ineligible for the service, so I can't track it that way. But Corey was able to do it that way.
John Beresford's throwing down the draft gauntlet over in the chat. Joe is very beatable in draft, unlike Mr. Costa, the current limited champ.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, to be fair, I did not win any of the 4 games I played with my draft deck. And the deck was so promising with my first 2 picks. I got Tarzan and Korak, and I had the Korak uncommon OPD. I was so excited. And then I did not make the best picks the next 2 rounds. So
Oh no.
this is partially why the draft is great, because it's a Rochester draft. So I was in seed 8 and I got 2 picks in a row, and there was 2 Tarzans. So I was like, well, I got to take the double Tarzan because then I'll have multiple of his non-1 protects. But that was where I just wasn't really thinking strategically, because I should have paid attention that 3 other players had gone into fighting. So when I took the 2 Tarzans, everything just dried up after that the next round. Because I picked Korak first, and then all the fighting cards were gone by the time it got back to me. And then we didn't open as much, combat. We didn't open as much combat at 3. So, but even just within that, it was fun, because then I was like, okay, now I know my strategies for what I'm picking next. Now I know how to diversify my picks and focus on different things. It was just so fun. I really can't wait to be drafting this with people and to hear the stories everybody has.
Yeah. Joey says if I can grab him a glass, he'll pay me to ship it. We'll see. I'm not making any promises, but I'm going to try and get a large amount, and we'll just throw them up on our website. They won't be free. I know that. They're not free. You got to buy a drink, I think. I'm not sure how it works, but we'll find out. We'll get you guys all the information. Oh, Sean, that's why you don't have a tracking number. You're in Canada. International shipping is going to be last, I believe. But Sean is asking, what are they using for international shipping, Joe? Do you know?
I think FedEx. Again, there's other. That's not I'm not handling that. That's more other people directly dealing with the shipping. But I believe international is FedEx.
I tell you what, if they had used FedEx for my shipment, I'd probably have mine. 'Cause
Yeah,
FedEx around here is the best service. But
Just to be clear, that was yeah,
yeah, that was on them, right?
Yeah, we should. It's it's unfortunate that it didn't go fast.
Yeah,
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, Corey said we can always open them on the plane ride. We got 3-hour plane ride, so we'll just
I
crack
love that
packs.
idea.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
I
right?
mean, when I fly with David McMillan to some of these events, we put the TV trays down on the seats, and we set our decks out. And even though we're facing the sea, we play like left and right with each other.
It's going to be fun. Oh, Phil Keffer says you got an email from UPS.
There you go.
Interesting. Okay.
Was it about Overpower, Phil?
John says the second Tarzan made him a target, and he kept all the combat. John, you didn't. You hoarded all the combat cards.
Yeah, I built the deck wrong too.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't want to play the avoids because I thought maybe they wouldn't go for Tarzan because I had he has the full avoid, but everybody went for Tarzan, and then I wished I would have put the avoids in.
Now, in the draft sequence, are you allowed to add cards from game to game?
Yeah, you actually are allowed to switch out between games in draft format. That's actually legal in Magic too.
Yeah.
Someone else would have to tell me. I haven't done a lot of higher end limited drafts. I've done mostly like Friday Night Magic for draft. Most of my Pro Tour aspirations were in constructed, but I think as long as it's in your pool and your pool's registered at the beginning of the event, you can change your deck with any of those cards.
Yeah, that's good. All right, guys. 22 minutes in. You ready to make an announcement, Joe?
Do you want me to make it?
All right. Guys, are you ready? Are you ready?
How many people are in the chat? Just curious.
28.
28 people. Well, if you guys are ready, we are. We wanted to give our supporters, Overpower Adventures and Heroes and Games, they've been such a big supporter. We wanted to give them this exclusive. So we are currently negotiating for a major IP and then another IP that's major, but for the one we're announcing tonight is for 4 characters. But do you have the art ready to pop up?
I do. You ready to go with the character card?
Yeah, I even like the character card was the one we put together the fastest. I think we show the special card first.
The special one. I think that was this one. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Savage Dragon.
Here
How about
we go.
that, guys?
Savage Dragon, the big green guy, is joining Overpower. That contract is signed. So we are going to have Savage Dragon, Super Patriot, Overlord, and then the new Savage Dragon from later in the series, his son Malcolm.
His son. Nice. Okay.
Yep.
Dragon
So-
1 and 2.
So right now for playable characters, we've only planned on Savage Dragon and designed him. He'd be included, I believe we're going to include him in the Top Cow set. So Top Cow is going to be Top Cow also featuring Savage Dragon.
Okay.
And then the other characters that we're going to be using as well, we may end up, when we do Savage Dragon 2, we may end up using them as a playable character. For right now, they'll be allies, teamworks, additional art, things like that. So
Okay. So this special honest police work target is -3 to venture for each hit currently in the hits to current battle and permanent record. Of course, that's always subject to change after some play testing, but that sounds pretty good.
yeah, it's these are the kind of new effects where it's like in the same realm as what we've done. It's a venture card, but we were thinking okay, it's a targeted attack. It can be avoided. Generally, the characters are going to have 2 hits on them, maybe 3 if they're not dead yet.
Right.
But then there's a strategy of playing into it. This is similar to the knock 'em silly strategy. This card's very akin to knock 'em silly, where it's you can play we've seen Dave McMillan do that, and he did help design this card. It's the same idea where the number of hits on the character's record can add up to venture instead of discarding cards, which is a crazy powerful effect. But yeah, we're excited about this. I can't say enough great things about my love for Savage Dragon. I can't think of a better time to have gotten into comics than like 1990 going into
Yes.
the early 90s. I
Yeah.
got to, start reading with Mark Silvestri and Jim Lee and everybody at Marvel, Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man run where he fights the Lizard,
Yeah.
and then transfer over and see them get to make their own creations. And Savage Dragon is, I believe at this point, the longest running creator-owned comics that
Second.
in continuous circulation. It's never stopped coming out.
I think it's second behind Spawn.
Behind Spawn.
Yeah.
Spawn's technically a little faster. Okay,
Yeah, I think so.
But that's
still, it's huge.
Yeah, and I've always been a fan. I know, actually, ironically, working with Skybound, Kirkman is a huge Savage Dragon fan as well. He read him a lot. Kirkman actually wrote the intro to the Savage Dragon omnibus, the collector's edition.
I did not know that.
Yeah, if you pop it open, it's very well written, and he was very influential on Robert Kirkman. So excited to finally have the dragon back in his home in Overpower.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Here's the character card: 1 energy, 6 combat, 8 brute force, and 4 intelligence. Threat level of 20.
Yep. And again, we threw this together just for the visual. This art's good, but it's not going to be what we end with. This was
Okay.
just fun to get you guys excited. The stats are probably pretty accurate.
Are we going to get some original art too?
Oh, absolutely. And, if he has the time, Larson's said he'd like to do 2 to 3 pieces for the set of original art.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So, and our art list of who said yes, I don't know when we've updated you guys, but currently on the list of people who've said yes for the Skybound set are Jim Lee said he wants to do 2 pieces if Warner Brothers agrees. He's got to get all kinds of permissions, but hopefully we'll get to work with him. That would just be an absolute dream come true, but he's at least interested. And we've been talking to Andy Kubert as well. So
Yeah.
he was telling, we were trying to get him on the ERB set and he didn't have enough time. So we're restarting the talks, and hopefully we can get some Andy Kubert pieces for the collectability. We really want to do David Nakayama,
Right.
who's huge right now.
Yeah. I
we've
just
been
put a
talking-
picture of him up on the screen of something that he's done, the Spider Gwen.
For David Nakayama?
Yeah. Yep.
He has definitely said, so a lot of people don't know, but he got his start at Top Cow. He's so good. I've got the delay and it just popped up. He's so good. So he really said he'd be really interested in doing some Witchblade alternatives. So it sounds like we've got him for that, but we're going to push him to see if there's anybody like Adam Eve or anybody with Invincible or Walking Dead he'd be interested in.
That'd be great. And we need to reach out to Art Germ. Do you know Art Germ?
Why do I know that name? I do know that name from somewhere, but I can't place it.
He's an incredibly talented, popular artist right now. And John Tyler Christopher, who was just here in Columbus at GalaxyCon, and I think Animate too. He does the negative space covers. If you see any of the negative space stuff for a lot of Star Wars books right now, those would be 2 guys that'd be really cool if you could get them guys. But what do you guys think? You like that Savage Dragon? I gotta pull up. Go back to YouTube. Yeah, sorry, Joey, it was not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Although I did see Nick guessed it was the Turtles because of the green that I used, which I did use green for the Savage Dragon, not for the Turtles. Hey, Scott Hamilton, how are you? Oh, the chat blew up while I was putting up all the pictures.
Hey, Scott, how's it going?
Yeah. Let's see. Mage says, I will have you know that I am a nerd, not a dork. Geek is also acceptable. Okay, sure. So the guessing was Spawn, which I told everyone in Facebook that it was not going to be Spawn. That's the only thing that I ruled out. But, the Turtles. What else did you guys guess?
I'll just say too, nothing's ruled out. We've been pretty vocal all along that we definitely want Spawn. We
Yes,
wanna
I
do a
mean
Spawn
it was
thing.
rolled out for tonight's reveal that it wasn't going to be Spawn. That's
Yeah,
that's
for
the
sure.
only clue I gave anybody.
Well, we're also hoping too now, also, if Todd McFarlane, if you're randomly in this overpowered chat, we'd love to have Spawn. But we're also thinking at this point too, like between Top Cow, Skybound, Savage Dragon, there's not a lot of major image titles that were like overpower stuff that's left. So we're kind of hoping at this point the getting Spawn on board would be a little bit easier too. So.
I actually got to meet McFarlane at New York Comic Con last year.
Oh yeah, I remember you
Yeah.
came by the booth.
Yeah.
Did you? I'm assuming you just talked about Overpower.
Basically, they moved the line so quick. It was, hi, how you doing? Thanks for coming. Sign my picture, and that was it. But he was extremely nice to everybody, and I really hope he agrees to do Spawn and Overpower really soon because he just seemed like a great guy.
Yeah, I can't wait. And there's so many great Spawn characters too, and it also just sort of slots right in perfectly with our strategy of like we definitely want to keep having these large 36 character core sets, but for other properties too, there's perfect opportunities to do sort of mission control size sets as well,
Right.
like 12 to 15 character expansions. And Spawn, now I'll admit I read Spawn for probably the first 100 issues, and I'm a little rusty like post that, but I feel like from my reading there's easily 15 pretty great characters that you could use.
Yeah.
And if we go back and reread the next 100 issues and sort of get a little bit back into that world that I've fallen out of, I'm sure there's like new characters too that we'd want to include. So we won't commit to it being a smaller set unless that's what makes the most sense, but it might lend itself perfectly to that.
Yeah, he's launched his own new universe right now, so he's got a lot, that's for sure.
And that's something interesting. We had multiple people that we've talked to sort of express that. I think they're, nervous about the amount of time commitment getting into a project like this is, but the way we run it, I think we tee this up so easily for them that once we've started working with every licensor, it seems like we're immediately developing a really efficient and awesome working relationship because, we're working right now. We've been through a lot of the process with all three, Skybound, Top Cow, Edgar Rice Burroughs. And I can tell you as somebody who's worked with really complicated licensing arrangements in my film career, they don't go this easy. They're not as great to work with. And all three of these IPs have been like fantastic to work with, like super responsive, approvals lightning fast, very like getting passionate and excited about the stuff that we're showing them. So very excited about that.
So Brett Cox, how are you? Brett said he came late. Is it just the Savage Dragon? 3 characters. Four characters. Who did I miss?
Savage Dragon, Overkill, the big villain from like the earlier runs.
Okay.
His son Malcolm, who's actually the current Savage Dragon, and Super Patriot.
Okay, Super Patriot, right. Okay, so we got those 4, Brett, that are going to be in there. And Scott Hamilton is extremely disappointed that it's not the boys. Well, and Scott, we will hit up the Todd father, believe me. At every show that I see him at, I will mention it to him. And yeah, we could get an Overpowered McFarlane toy tie-in. Wouldn't that be cool? So right now you got 2025 already mapped out, or just 2 of the 3 sets?
2026?
2026. Sorry. Yes, 2026.
Well, this right now we believe 2026 and Q1 of 2027 are locked in. But right now, you guys only know about 2 of the sets from 2026, and we can't give any more away. But all we can say is that there's a major title that you guys are going to be, I think, just as excited about. That we've got a very rough agreement in principle, and we're moving on to the contracts.
Sounds great. Now,
Yeah, we're not stopping. We're just going to keep doing it.
Yep. Now, if all this leans into a Marvel licensing, will that just throw a wrench in your schedule?
I don't think so, because I mean, there's going to be an amount of time for both design and creation. You know, Marvel could come to us today and say, "Yep," and sign the contract 15 minutes from now. There still would be so much work that would go into and especially working with a larger entity like that. I'm sure that the process for getting art and getting approvals is not going to be as quick as it is for some of the more agile companies we work with. So I would say that even if we get to a Marvel license, that'll be a little bit closer to a 2027 release. It'll be in that time period for sure.
Yeah. Okay. John really wants a Hanna-Barbera set.
I did just read that.
There are some great characters there. You got Space Ghost and the Herculoids, and
It's true. It's true. His previous comment about Youngblood, and I believe Wetworks is also Rob Liefeld. Do you know, Doug?
I know it's an early Image title, but I don't think it was Liefeld.
Or was Wetworks Wildstorm? Let me look it up real quick.
That was Porcello, wasn't it? Porcello? Wireless Porcello?
Yes. Yeah, you're right. So, okay. Well, I'm not sure who. We'll have to look into that. But yeah, we've tossed around the idea too. We like that we're going through the whole Image roster to start with, and so we've definitely been throwing around Youngblood because we've heard they're relaunching it. So, absolutely, James, we are on the same page.
Yeah.
One plug I'd like to give now that we've got everybody's attention, we've hyped you up with Spawn. We are going to be at PAX East. That's going to be our first convention. That is next week, Thursday through Sunday. We've got a full booth. We're going to be running demos. It's a brand new booth that we had made for this season. So if you got to see our booth in New York, fantastic booth. I think we've even stepped it up a notch. I think the one this year is going to blow you out of the water even more. It's so cool the way we were able to design this. Without giving too much away, what we did is we found a company that made aluminum frames for convention show walls, and we were able to create center lit LED panels with printed fabric that wraps over all the walls. So all the imagery is going to be backlit, and it
Nice.
just pops.
All right, Joe.
And I'm sorry, this week. It's this week. It's
weekend.
May.
Yep.
It's this Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So.
All right. So that you can get to PAX, I'm about to maybe give you a reason to be at PAX. Joe, when you do the demos, are you using the same demo decks that you use at New York Comic Con?
I mean, I hope to not use those again
Oh.
because we should have all our stuff in by then and be selling product.
People really want those decks from New York Comic Con.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the new ones are way better.
Yeah, but the New York are way more collectible at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great thing. We love having all these little gems that are collectible, but no, look, the only way we wouldn't do it is if somehow we don't get our stuff in also by this weekend.
All right.
But I believe we'll have it, and we'll be selling product. We should have everything: power card stations, starter deck boxes, booster boxes, and we're also doing kind of a program. So what we're gonna do is there's a lot of different things you can do when they come to the booth to earn points. So I think we're gonna have these little cards that, you know, if you do a demo, you get a point. If you sign up for a cardio account, you get a point. If you refer a friend, you get a point. And if by the end of the weekend you get to a certain point threshold, you can upgrade the promo that you're gonna get.
Oh, you got promos for this weekend?
We do. It's gonna be is going to be foil cards from the promos that we put out for the first 2 years. But as you know, those foil versions were extremely rare. So we've gotten reprinted a lot of those foils. So
Right.
we're gonna be handing different
We can drive
ones
to
out.
Philly Thursday, hit a few demos, come back Thursday night, leave Friday morning for Dallas. What do you say?
Perfect.
You
Sounds
with
like a
me?
plan.
Well, PAX East is actually in Boston. So It's
Boston.
gonna be a little,
Oh, I was thinking it was in Philly. Even better. All right, we might have to fly.
Philly is PAX
Perfect.
Unplugged that happens in December. We will
Okay.
also be at that convention.
All right. All
Yeah,
right.
plan your appearances. Any of the packs this year, we will be there. We'll be at Origins. We'll be at San Diego Comic-Con, and we'll be at New York Comic-Con. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity to come see our booth and interact with us.
Are we going to have promos at Origins?
Oh, absolutely. And I hope to have, we didn't think we were going to be able to do it, but Carta Mundi was able to print promos for this year. So they won't have a lot of the like really fancy promo packaging that you're used to. But we've got a great promo that we're pushing through, trying to get approved. And it will hopefully be the first piece of Invincible art. And I'm hoping we can plug that in and have that be the promo for the rest of the shows after PAX East.
All right, Jessica's ears just perked up when she heard Invincible promo.
It's so good. I'm not allowed to show anything until we get it approved, and it's killing me because we just submitted a piece by Philip Tan, and I mean, don't get me wrong, like the Invincible art from the comic is fantastic, and again, if you're listening, Ryan Otley, we'd like to get you to do some for the set. But this piece Philip Tan did too. Philip Tan's just quickly becoming my current favorite artist. He's so talented.
Yep. Ron just sent me a text message. I thought it was going to be a tracking number, but it's not. It's an image. So I'm assuming I'm allowed to share that image tonight.
Is it the booth image?
No, I wish it was, but it's just, here, I got it up on the screen now, Joe. You'll see it here in a few minutes.
Okay, well, now I can't say. I guess we're showing it, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's just Invincible, Walking Dead, Witchblade. Oh, it is the booth image.
Oh yeah, you gotta zoom out a little bit. I just saw it. You gotta on the screen. It's really cropped and pushed in.
What? I'm trying.
Well, okay.
How about that?
This is all you guys get. This is the preview. This is the exact center of our booth. That's all
Look
you get
at that.
to see.
Wow. Can you see it now? It should be coming up.
It just got bigger on my screen, but it's still only the middle of the picture.
What the heck? All right. All these other images I have on here are in the way. There it is.
But that gives you an example. You can start to see what we're talking about with how this is all printed fabric that we've backlit with LED panels. And what you can see for the tops of those demo tables, those actually are wrapped in plastic and center lit with LED as well. And we got to see them. They set it up for us before they shipped it, and it just pops. It pops so much. It zoomed in closer.
Sorry, guys. Ron just sent me another picture. And again, it's not a tracking number. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. That looks great.
I'm not even going to share that one. All right.
Is it the booth?
It is, with the floor and everything.
Well, that's probably the one we should show so they can actually see it.
Joe, come on. No, I'm technically challenged. Let's see. Wow, that's awesome. All right, here it comes. And let me transition there. Oh, all right, no, they're not going to look at us anymore. Not that they care about us, right?
Wow, this looks great.
One of the things that's been great. Oh, there we go. And that doesn't have the carpet. Obviously, we'll have our patented blue overpower carpet in there. But yeah, that's our booth, and you can see. I can't take credit for this one. I designed the booth for New York Comic-Con, but this booth concept was from Ronald, and he actually found the companies that did it all. And then Luke was the one that put together all the imagery. Luke Fletcher, our extremely talented graphic designer, who's
That's
responsible for most of the amazing stuff you see. So I can't plug him enough.
That's good. Ron, while I know that you're listening, you got a tracking number I can share with everybody? Just for me. I don't want everyone else's tracking numbers.
I don't believe he has it yet.
We still have 3 days. We do plan to stream a box opening of about 6 or 8 boxes. 2, 4, 6, 8. AJ's 10. We're up to 10 boxes at least that we're going to open on stream as soon as they come in. we're all fighting over who gets to leave the store and come back here and stream the openings. But I can't wait. It's going to be great.
We're really excited, and we've been it's just been such a fun couple of months from, us starting to get the samples in, getting to do the first draft, getting to design this booth, and finally being able to talk about all these licenses. But it's also, it's been really fun now to start getting into the work, and we're currently in the process with Skybound of getting our artists that we want to use approved. And so we took the liberty of having each of our ERB artists do an audition piece. And so hopefully, they get approved, whatever it is, we're going to figure out a system that's awesome to bring you guys great art. But I just have to say, like, what these guys ERB's art was the Edgar Rice Burroughs art was amazing.
Yep.
And I just feel like these guys continue to blow me out of the water. I see a new piece and I'm like, these guys aren't they're bringing their A game every single time they create a piece of art from us. It's not wavering at all. Philip Tan's Invincible piece, and then, Gonzo Man, who did our original promos, did an audition piece that's a character card for one of the characters. I'm trying to not say anything until it's approved, but the art, I really can't wait to. It's such a dream come true to be actually creating art that's going to be out there in the world as part of this industry, and that's these characters I've loved for so long.
Now, did the promo pieces for the Kickstarter get shipped, or is that coming later?
The promo brick should be in there, but the Any Heroes Essential foil brick is not. That'll come with the second one.
The redhead from Few and Cursed is going to be in there?
She will be in the first one, yeah. There's
Nice.
4 copies of it in that brick.
All right, that'll make Felipe very happy. I don't know if Felipe's
absolutely.
in the chat. I don't know if he's in the chat tonight. I haven't seen him. But
Yes, the Few and the Curse 7 fighting, each brick that each person gets is going to get 4 copies of it.
what the heck did I do there, Nor?
Couldn't tell you.
Yes, Joe Fanboy just jumped in to tell you again.
Yep, we'll go
The
here.
one we announced tonight is we have Savage Dragon. So
Yep. Hey, Joe, how are you? I'd love to come to a con, but I live in a con desert. Where you? What? Come on, Brett. What are you talking about? There's
Brett,
got-
we saw you at you came out to New York Comic Con, right?
Yeah.
You were there.
You'll be amazed. There'll be at so many conventions all year that you'll find one.
Doug, why don't you throw the Savage Dragon special and then the 8 up again as we're talking for the new people who just jumped in.
Okay.
So these are just concept images. They're not necessarily final. The stats, the threat cost, and the card mechanic is all stuff that we've currently designed for him. So that's just the rough image we threw in there. That's not going to be the final one, but this is just to get you guys a little bit excited about throwing the big green guy on the table.
And, oops, I didn't mean to do that one again.
Oh, sorry, Brett. I saw so many people in New York. I couldn't remember if I saw you there or not.
Okay.
And then there's the special.
Oh, get rid of
I
that.
still got the
There
character
we go.
card up.
There's
Okay.
we had the special or the 8 power card now.
I had the special card poking out to the right of the character card, but I still had the character card.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on this 11-second delay like you guys
Oh,
are.
right. I think we got the level 8
Oh.
power card now.
Yeah, that's such an iconic classic image, but
Yeah.
I just love that picture so much. That's my childhood there.
I think that might have been taken off of Savage Dragon #1.
I think it is. I think
Yeah.
it's the cover image from the original.
And it's
so.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, and then if you've got the special, pop that up there.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's going to be really cool.
Yeah, Joe. Joe said I'm hoping for Spawn next with all the other Image properties. You and me both, Joe. We love Image.
Had that conversation about Spawn.
I love this. This is one of the pictures I always remember. I actually sent this to Luke, and I was like, "This is going to be a special." It's one of my favorite pieces of Savage Dragon art.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you guys going to take that
Yes,
booth?
Brett. Savage Dragon is most likely going to be included in the Top Cow set. We're still arranging exactly how it's going to work, but that currently seems like where the home's going to be for him.
You guys going to take that booth to all the cons this year?
That is our 2025 promo, our con booth. Yep. So
Nice.
that'll be at all of the cons that I mentioned earlier.
Traveling Goof says 4 Savage Dragon characters are coming in Top Cow. They may have more. Oh, he's just repeating for Joe Fanboy, who came in a little late. Yeah, that Top Cow set's going to end up being pretty awesome.
Oh my God! And I think we've revealed this. I hope I'm not Tom Holland in it, but that's where we're going to introduce artifacts because, as you know, the Top Cow universe is built around their 13 artifacts. It's the Witchblade, the Darkness, and the Angelus are the big three that we know. And then the other ones are more like weapons people use. So like the Blood Sword that, now I'm completely spacing. Who's the guy that's always trying to get the artifacts?
Is it Darkness?
No, in Witchblade, it's not
oh.
in Nottingham. So like he's always trying to get his hands on the different artifacts, but he gets the Blood Sword for a while, and then there's the Coin of Solomon and all of these different ones. So our intention is to have the 3 characters be 3 of the artifacts, and then the 10 artifacts in the set are going to be the 10 artifacts from the book. And we've had multiple weeks of designs now, just figuring out exactly how to make those artifacts function.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that works.
Oh, super fun. We're trying to do a lot more of them not just being like a teammate has to play it on this character and it's grid required. You know, we're trying to be a little more creative for how do you play this artifact? What's its effect? And it's interesting. It's really fun to design because it's a fine line of we don't want to create artifacts that are just you just get to play it and then they're going to be in every deck like an any character card would. But we also don't want to make them as restrictive as they were. So it's like let's take an example of Pym particles. Like I'm a huge Hank Pym fan. I want to play the Pym particles as an artifact. We don't want to make it like, well, I can only do it if I use strength character. So it's a really fun problem to get to solve and design.
We got a comedian in the chat right now. Hey, Skittle Daddy, how are you? He wants to know what's going to happen first, Savage Dragon release or his ERB Kickstarter delivery?
Ooh. All right, hold on. Give me a second. I think we'll get the Kickstarter ship first. Thank you, Skittle Daddy. I will say thank you, everybody. You guys are one of the best communities. And I love that. I know it all comes from a place where everybody's super excited to get the cards. So so that's good. And we don't ever we laugh along with you. And the flip side to that is we do try to be super transparent with you guys. So we're the ones that got everybody excited for when it was going to ship. So it's on us. But give us a little bit of credit for fulfilling an October Kickstarter in May. That's kind of unheard of if you're in the Kickstarter game at all. Usually it's a year fulfillment.
I went back through my sponsored Kickstarters and I was seeing ones that were like, it took forever. I've got one from 2015 that never did fulfill. I bought a chessboard that has magnets underneath it so it moves the pieces by itself, and it is now technically 1 year late. It was due by May 1st of last year. So you guys are doing great. We're just all excited.
The good news is it's and this in all seriousness, Skittle Daddy, it's in the mail. Like literally, they have all the product. They've been shipping it out every day. I know he was telling me last week they were well past all the priority retail orders and into the regular list. Everybody, I think we're going to start to see a flood within the next few days. And if for any reason there's delays, we're on top of it. This isn't going to be a thing where 2 weeks from now you're scratching your head wondering where it is. This is all going to fulfill. And if for some reason there's a few people that don't have it, we've got a team that's going to be on top of it. So just, the keep your excitement there, and you're gonna get a huge, Christmas morning present in the mail at some point here.
And I just got another text from Ron, and he does not have my tracking number, but he said he doesn't have his own. So
That's fair.
What are you going to do? And the Freak Show is getting a lot of Wizard Magazine vibes right now. He's having nostalgia overload.
I can give you some even more Wizard magazines. We're going to have fingers crossed, as long as everything gets in by the deadline, I think we're going to have a big spread in ICV2's magazine coming up this quarter. And if all goes the way we want it to, we're going to try to include a promo insert in it for retailers to see the game and get an example of the card.
Awesome. Well, look at that. Phil Miller finally joined the chat. He kind of likes the Savage Dragon art. Good.
Nice.
Joe, somebody had a question.
Ricky, come on, give me a break.
Joe's yours coming on Christmas. Ricky is like heartless. Somebody had a question up here about event dates. Where'd it go?
Well, John Beresford just asked me, Joe, when are you getting cards packed in with lunch meat? And that's
Hillshire.
We would love to do Hillshire Farms promo or something similar to that, and we're actually going to be reaching out to a number of different people just for the nostalgia. We'd love to have some of the Overpower cards back in the cereal boxes. I, as somebody who normally always makes healthy choices but still loves to eat a Lunchable once in a while, I'd love to have Overpower back in Lunchables.
Yep. Katie and Corey got Lunchables every day for a very long time when they were kids. And they never complained. But who was? Somebody. Oh, the traveling goof is asking, is there a timeline for the LRG tournament locations announcement?
I can tell you that we had a 2-hour meeting today to make more headway on that. So, it's basically as soon as we've officially locked in the venues, or we know for sure we've got space for everybody, we're going to start making the announcements. So we did announce the dates. We're trying to stick solidly to those dates, but we're reluctant we don't want to say anything until we know the venue's locked in, because then God forbid we have to move it.
Yep.
I don't want people to pull the trigger. I know it's easier for people to plan travel if they know where it is, but we kind of don't want them to do that till we're fully locked in. So we are on it. We're trying to get those first two so we can announce the location right away. But we made a lot of headway over that. Now that we've got everything fulfilled for the Kickstarter, a lot of the other stuff is in the works, and we've got the cons all locked in. That's one of our biggest focuses right now, is to get these regionals locked in.
Okay, so good. Ron says big props to Chris Rice for showing all of his cards. That's amazing. Yeah, he must not have slept last night. Just maybe all weekend.
I loved seeing him in the binders too. That was great.
Yeah.
Yes, Skittle Daddy. We really think that everything's going to be out by the end of the week. So your Saturday family pack opening party, I still think you've got a good shot at it.
Yeah, Skittle, I can't remember. What part of the country are you in? I think is that Wisconsin? I can't remember. Brett says, I assume any announcement on promo cards or promo materials would go out in an email ahead of time, right? Don't want to miss anything.
I'm sure we'll be doing, I know we put a lot of social media posts out because we love to engage with you guys. Just do a quick little check-in every day on our Overpower page on Facebook, and you should be able to keep up with everything we're doing.
Yeah, and it'll be in the mailer. The home base? I'm sure.
The home base. Yeah, I'm excited about issue 4. We got we're designing the cover right now. I hope Howard Bertrand's article is going to be in it. He's been teasing us with an article he's working on, so we're going to try to fit it in. And then I'm gonna put him on blast a little bit because I'm really excited about it. Greg Costa is talking about designing a cube. Do you know what a cube is for Cube Draft?
For Magic,
Doug?
Yep.
So Greg has some really good ideas for how to do a cube for Cube Draft, and I don't know if we'll get it for this issue, but I'm pushing him to design it, and that'll be a feature article for what his cube is to put together for Cube Drafted.
Nice. Sean says Magic the Gathering is having a YouTube live from PAX is Overpower.
We don't have any plans right now to do something live from PAX. So what we talked about earlier is Magic has a pretty big space, and I'm assuming a lot of play space. So they're probably showcasing an event that they're having there. We're doing demos and exhibiting at all the cons this year, but we're not going to be really pushing into the play spaces until the 2026 event circuit.
Okay. John says, I support this idea by Greg completely. John, you probably run them there at Pandemonium, don't you? We're not a
Yeah, John actually held a Learn to Play event at Pandemonium this weekend. We kept one of the starter deck boxes and power card stations sealed from the samples they sent us. And John, unfortunately, we didn't get the cards in as fast as we thought, but we were able to provide those, and he actually ran a whole Learn to Play event on Saturday to start teaching new people Overpower.
Nice. I need some help here, guys. I'll put it out here in the chat right now. I need a deck to build for Friday night because I don't have any cards. What do you suggest? I know Sean really likes Sherlock Holmes. What do you think, Sean? You got a Sherlock Holmes deck I can borrow? Oh, you're not coming. Just mail me your cards. Oh,
I'll tell you,
Sean's
Doug,
in
I
Canada.
think the way, Greg did some pretty great stuff with Sheriff of Nottingham. That's what he won the draft with.
I have heard that name come up a lot in our discussions. So we shall see about the Sheriff of Nottingham.
I'm glad. Sheriff of Nottingham was one of my designs, and I didn't see him. I don't think anybody played him in the big playtest tournament we did.
Michael.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so nobody played him in the big playtest tournament, so I was really happy to see. It's fun watching people get excited about characters that they weren't really paying attention to before.
Yeah. Michael says, sorry. What's happening? Well, Phil wasn't feeling good, so he's not here tonight, nor is setting in. And yes, you did see the Savage Dragon. And John lost a game to a new player. It was great.
Mike. So, yeah, Savage Dragon is going to be in Overpower. The contract is signed, and we've brought the big green guy back home.
There you go, Michael. I'll give you a picture. Not finalized art, but just something to look forward to. And Sean says, yeah, my Sherlock cards will be right next to the King Arthur cards. I'll be denying you. Stop it, Sean. Why do you want to hoard all the King Arthur cards? You guys got to let go of something. So, Joe, here's one thing I saw you talking about odds on, I think the show that you and Sean did.
Yes.
It looks like the alternate art foil editions are going to be one every 3 boxes, if I do my math right. One in every 100 packs, which is roughly 1 in 3 boxes. Was that right, or do you know?
You're saying for the ultra rare foil?
Yes.
I honestly think it's more often than that. So they're not, the way that we designed it, I can tell you this part of it. So I believe there's roughly 50, I think there's 53 rares and 15 ultra rares, if I remember it off the top of my head. And then so those sheets just got foiled. But when we did the foil version, you have to create different files to do the foiling because of the way the art's layered and everything. So we just put them all into single sheets. So even though there's rares and ultra rares, they're more rare by virtue of there only being 15 of them, but they're not dropping it. Those 15 cards are dropping at the same rate as the other 53. So I'd have to do the math on exactly what that drop rate is. It's out there. I just don't, that's getting more into the design stuff for the Coalition, which is not completely me. But I can tell you from just watching a couple of boxes being opened, Sean had at least 2 foil ultra rares in 2 boxes. So
okay.
I think the drop rate's going to be a lot faster than that, a lot more than that for the ultra rare.
I think it said on the wrapper 0.1, but that would make it about 1 in every 100 packs.
Okay, I would go by what the pack says.
I think that's what it was, but still,
that is the truth. I mean, they have all that math figured out, and we reviewed it, and
it's the same kind of odds that Magic the Gathering puts on their wrappers, which is so hard to figure out. Why can't you just say 1 every 36 packs or 1 in every 108 packs, whatever it is? Don't give me that percentage crap. But it does make it so much harder. And
yeah,
we'll
get that all translated.
Yeah, we'll find out when people start opening packs. 3 different alternate arts of King Arthur. What are you trying to do to me?
Is there 3? I don't think there is 3. I think there's 2 alternates in the regular hero.
Oh, okay. That's a little better. Somebody was saying 3, but
there's the regular one that Wilton Santos drew. So gorgeous. Raymond Gay did one of the first alternative arts, and then I'm spacing on the artist, the woman who did the other one, and it's bugging me that I'm spacing on it because she's so great. She does almost this like Adventure Time style art. So we got her to do, I love it. It's this really fun, silly, like King Arthur that looks like he's from like a little kid's cartoon.
Yes, that was the one Chris Rice hit.
Yeah, so I don't think there's another one other than that.
Okay,
now there's a lot of other cool King Arthur stuff, like he's on the 7 combat.
Nice, that'll be good. Man, I've missed so much in the chat today, guys. Sorry, but Freak Show wants me to play Cthulhu this weekend, and I tell you what, that name's been thrown around a lot too. Yep. Ricky says totally needs some ham lunch meat with Sheriff of Nottingham cards in it. Funny.
Yeah, John put in the chat too. It was really fun seeing. He used Billy the Kid in the draft.
Yep.
And used him out of the reserve slot, and that was something we did in this set that we're really curious to see how it worked out. Where, we tried to play around a lot with the reserve slot to make the reserve character more interesting. So obviously, Keith really wanted to play around with inexpensive reserve character. Building a really strong character that could do a lot from reserve, Cthulhu, but was going to cost you 22 of your points, which is like unheard of for a reserve character. Whereas Billy the Kid is sort of the opposite, where he's 17 points, so you can put him in the back of a combat team or any team to kind of shave some points and make it cheaper, but he's not doing a ton. Like, he can play his 2 numerical specials, one's a 4, one's a 5, which is nice, but he's not like avoiding attacks. He's not coming up with a 10. But John placed his special pals a lot in the draft, which says play on target teammate. Billy the Kid may defend the teammate, and the teammate may defend him with specials. It basically is like a 2-card Fantastic Four Freedom's Plaza inherent, if you know how the home base works. And it was awesome in a game against me. It was really good the whole time, but it was just great. So I had put the mark of the headless on a character, and John was like, okay, Billy the Kid's gonna defend that guy with power cards. So then the -2 the mark of the headless gave him literally didn't do anything because Billy just played all the power cards to defend him. And so it was just so fun to see a complex interaction like that I hadn't really seen before.
Nice. John says he got a foil art of Watson in 4 packs. Wow. And a foil time traveler.
And a foil Count of Monte Cristo.
What? All out of 4 packs.
And then Dave opened 5 packs and didn't get a single foil.
Sorry, Dave. It all went somewhere else. What is going on with my computer right now? You guys still hearing me?
Yeah, I hear you great, and I'm.
Jessica, can you still hear the chat, the stream? I hope so. Go until you can you hear me asking you if you can hear me?
Me, I hear you great.
Yeah.
I think if
We're still on?
If they
Okay.
couldn't hear us, I think we'd see it in the chat right now.
Well, I thought we got the whole thing disconnected.
Nope.
it's
Scott Hamilton says, "Yeah, we hear you."
okay.
Awesome.
Thanks, Scott. It says I got a duplicate stream key going, but I can't get back to the first one. Oh well, we'll just keep rolling. So, all right. Thanks, guys.
We still got this Savage Dragon character card up too.
Do I? Thought I took.
I
that
still
down.
see it on my screen.
Yeah. That should be gone.
Okay.
Hey, Brian, how are you? You just joining? Good to have you. Savage Dragon. It is? You guys are seeing. You guys, is everyone else seeing Savage Dragon?
It went away. It just went away.
Oh, okay. He's going to pop up momentarily and then go away again. Your audio is great, says John. All right. Yeah, Michael, I don't know if Phil's in the chat or not. He popped in. Oh, there he is. He says he can't hear me. Phil, where you been? Savage just went away. All right, good. All right. So we're going to see Savage Dragon in Top Cow. So Top Cow just keeps getting stronger and stronger. It's going to be like Image Comics re-releasing all over again, but without Spawn, at least for now.
Yeah, we're so excited for some of these mechanics too. You know, we've been doing some of the internal play testing with Top Cow because we've been designing that a little longer than Skybound. That's been really fun, and you know, the team, Ron Peraza has actually been jumping in on our design meetings from time to time. You know, he's joined our advisory board, and he's had great contributions. And this team's just really continued to impress me with not just the uniqueness of the ideas they've come up with, but I really feel like a lot of I think everyone's really starting to understand the shared vision of bringing, you know, a variety of different ideas and different mechanics into the game.
Yeah.
And so it's been really great to see, you know, characters on one end of the spectrum that are like a little more straightforward with avoids and numerical attacks, an occasional secondary effect on a card, which I really akin a little bit to like red aggro and magic, you know, something that's a little more straightforward, a little more aggressive. And then the split side of that to like way more interesting remainder of game effects that like have the potential to build decks around. It's just been really great watching the creativity in the places, so many different places that they've taken these cards to be like, oh, that's an area of the game we can explore. You know, everything from like manipulating your power pack and placing cards in it so that when you go to power pack, you have an advantage if the game goes that far, to, you know, things like that didn't really exist in the old game. But it's like, yeah, if you want to take a character who's gonna be defensive and stall out the game, but is gonna like place some cards in the power pack for when you reshuffle, that's great because that's what you're using that character to do. And milling characters, obviously you saw that with Poseidon and characters in ERB, but trying to make milling cards a little more of a staple. It's been really great to see the creativity that our design team brings to the table. I think we're quickly becoming the best design team in CCGs.
Yeah, I was so glad that we didn't just get a whole bunch of 4 Mimic 1 additional, which is all Marvel seemed to do in the first 3 or 4 sets that they put out.
Yeah, it was important to us to still have those kind of things, but you know, one of the things, and I spoke to Ron about this, we're going to be releasing a longer cut of the games we played at the New York Comic-Con. But one of the things we talked about was back then they were working at a trading card company. You know, Fleer was a trading card company. So while they were designing the game, there was still a lot of mandates on how to do stuff. It was still the mentality of like, well, we have to produce some cards that are not going to be very good because people need to kind of buy a lot of that to get to the good stuff. And it's just, you know, that was the way everybody did it back then. And we're coming at it from a standpoint instead of like, these characters are going to get 6 cards to tell the totality of their story and their power level. We don't want to make a card that's not going to see play. That doesn't mean everything has to be more powerful. but like we need to create an environment where it makes sense to play stuff. And a lot of that is what went into reducing the overall value of the teamwork cards. Because now when a character like Sherlock Holmes has a 4 multi make an additional attack, and he's one of the only, I think he might be the only character that got a full 4 multi, that card is awesome now when the average attack from a teamwork is a 4,
right,
and his has all 4 icons. And so we've done stuff like that even just to make cards that you don't even think like, oh, Magneto has one, Spawn has one, Host has one. Doesn't seem special, but then when you start to play in the new environment, like the draft, and somebody throws it out, you start to feel the pressure. You're like, that card is way more oppressive than it was before. So
yeah,
I totally agree with what you're saying, Doug. It's such a good observation. And I think we've worked really hard to make it where you're not going to really feel that way about, I mean, you may just not like a card or might not like the flavor. It might not be your play style, but I don't think you're going to feel ever with our Overpower that we just came up with a card like a 4 make an additional and said, cool, let's give that to half the characters.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know if you've been talking to Keith or not, but as soon as Jessica heard about Invincible, she immediately volunteered to be a playtester. And she dragged our whole group into it. Jessica, Nor, Doug, Phil, and Corey, and AJ all signed up to be playtesters again.
I love it.
So
I love it.
We're really looking forward to sitting around playing those cards real soon in the playtest environment.
Yeah, and not to tease you guys, but I just got the first PDF with the very first step from design meetings, spreadsheets to actually cards is, our graphic designer Luke takes the text from the spreadsheet and puts it into the card layout, and then we go through and those are the actual files for the cards. We work and do comments on the PDFs after that so that any changes we make are always getting updated on the master list. But that's such a big step. So the skybound images on the card borders, it doesn't have the art in it yet, but we're to that step. So we're actually already to the point where we're refining the language of the cards. So we may be to play testing these cards by the summer. You guys may have playtest groups may have bricks of these things by the summer to already be play testing the new set while you're trying to figure out how to win tournaments with the current set.
Did you hear that, Jessica? You may have it by summertime. She's super excited for this.
That's great. It's been great. It's so great seeing new people in the game too. So Nora, it's been awesome. It was awesome seeing you do so well in the Friday night event and at the Champ of Champs. And it's, I think the excitement for new people like, Nora and Jessica is part of what keeps reinvigorating us to be excited about it.
Yeah, and there are so many people coming into the store looking for Invincible comics. It's just unbelievable. We can't keep the trade paperbacks in stock. We probably sold, 5 copies of his first trade this past weekend alone. I can't wait to get a poster up in the window announcing Invincible Overpower's coming.
We're actually working on, it's funny, I didn't even think to mention this. We're designing store window vinyls like the other games do. So
nice.
We're hoping to be able to provide a bunch of the stores with cling window vinyls.
Yeah. When One Piece sent a poster announcing their game, we put it up in the store window, and so many people kept at it. Can I buy the One Piece card game? And I said, well, it doesn't release for like 4 more months. And
that's the problem with doing stuff ahead of time.
Well, yes, but it also gave me an idea that I needed to order a whole lot of that product. And I will already know to order a whole lot of Invincible. But they will come in. Phil says in the chat his oldest son is excited for Invincible as well. So we'll finally get Phil Jr. into the game.
That's awesome. See, I love this. I love that. That's what I want is this appeal so we can get the new generation. I can't wait. One of the most exciting Overpower moments for me in the last few years was Andrew Taylor's victory at the Battle of Boston this year.
Yep.
Just getting to see somebody new come in, because even like us, there's stuff we don't even think sometimes to do because we're so used to working on like from a place where we've played the same game for 30 years. And sometimes the new blood even inspires us to like think about the game in a new way. You know, it's
Yep.
yeah, it's I can't wait to see. I want to see a tournament where a Phil Keffer or one of the best players is sitting at a finals table in a modern environment with Top Cow and Invincible and Walking Dead and Savage Dragon and Witchblade and all the ERB characters playing a deck against playing a decks with each other, and one of them has a completely new idea playing like a veteran like Phil or Sean Ballantyne or one of
Right.
these guys. Like that's kind of my dream, is watching like the new players and the old players like competing in this brand new environment.
Yeah, it'll be great. And I can't wait to see all the new players that come in. And it's just amazing what Invincible's going to do. I don't think you could have signed a better IP outside of Marvel. So it's going to be great. And I still can't. I don't know what I did, Norm.
For what?
On my YouTube channel. Oh well, we'll figure it out when I have to turn it off. Hey Scott, how are you? You finally got here. Yep, I got Nora with me tonight. What? You got to be nice. You're darn right. You got to be nice, Scott, all the time. You got a daughter. You got to set an example for. And Sean Mage's musing says he plans to dominate.
I mean, he's putting
We
the
all
work
plan
in.
that, Mage. We all plan it.
Sean, I think trying to remember what's the mage's name? Merlin Gandeldorf. Was that close, Sean? Sean's putting the work in. I think he's spending more time on our Discord than I am at this point.
I do see him a lot on there when I pop in. I don't get on the Discord very often, but I have been a little bit more looking to see if anyone's showing new cards or new tracking numbers, updates and things. So it's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
It's too bad you guys weren't in the game to back the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have literally only been playing for 5 months. It's incredible to believe. Yeah, there's Mage's name, Phil. Hey, Phil, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you this weekend. Safe travels to you.
Thanks. Safe travels, Kevin. I was pretty close, Sean. Merlinster Gandeldor.
Yeah.
I was very close.
Skittle Daddy says Discord Doug. Yep, I've been popping in quite a bit.
We should give Sean's channel a plug while he's in here. If anyone in here wonders why that little puppet is there, Sean runs a fantastic D&D channel as well. You should click over and check it out. He's got great content, really fun channel.
Yep.
Go give him a follow.
And I think, is it Mage's Musing the name of it, or I think that's the name of it, right, Sean? Sean,
We're
go ahead.
teeing you
and
up,
post
Sean.
it.
Plug it.
Yeah.
Post your link in there.
Put it in there. Let everyone know. And give him a like and a subscribe. 4 famous wizards all in one. Merlin, Elminster, Gandalf, and Dumbledore. All right.
Oh, now it makes more sense.
Yeah. All right, Joe, I want to thank you for coming on tonight, man. It's been really fun.
Hey, you guys were still the first original Overpower podcast, so it's
There can only be
Thanks.
one. That's the first, right?
it's true, it's true. So we're we really appreciate all the support. Thanks
Glad to
everybody
do
for
it.
coming out to the show, and I know we're all super eager to get these cards. I really think everybody's gonna have them by the end of the week, and I can't wait for you guys to open them. We really put, I think I said this in the newsletter, between making it a 43 character set and creating almost entirely original art, we created over 450 original images. About half of them needed a colorist, play testers, years of design. It was way too much, and we shouldn't have done it that big. But it's just been, we just are so happy that the reception it's gotten and the fun that we're bringing to people. No matter where you are in this world right now, it's easy to say that it's not been the best of times for people's communities, for the sense of community and happiness. And it's been, at least for me, a real great thing to have so many great friends that we've made in this community, and to be able to be someone who's helping grow a community of people that love and support each other through a game where they get to have fun. It's we want to put this out there for you, but it's also a gift to us to be able to be a part of creating something this special, and it really is special because of you guys, the community. So thank you to us, to everybody.
Just like a big, huge family.
It really is.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I will probably pop up and do some live streaming from Dallas, but they'll be just like short 10-minute things. So if you want to see what's going on out there at the very first Lazarus Rising Games tournament, Carl will be hosting that Friday night, 7 o'clock his time, I believe, or is it 6 o'clock? I'm not sure. I'll have to follow up on that.
And we are doing, we do have a videographer that's coming to film the main event on Saturday.
Nice.
We won't be doing live commentary, but we will be doing the commentary after. So between that and me being at PAX, I'm going to go offline for the weekend, because I actually am really going to try to not see who won any of the games. And I really want to be able to give you guys Keith and I are both going to try to not look at anything, and we want to give you guys our absolute honest, sense of excitement, who's winning, what characters are being played. So we're going to try to do a media blackout for the two of us. So when we record the commentary on Monday, it's going to be absolutely fresh takes on everything.
Are you streaming Friday night and Saturday's events?
Right now, I think we only have the person coming in on Saturday for the main event.
I think a lot of the modern cards are going to show up on decks on Saturday, so that will be interesting.
I think so too. That's been a funny development too, is the more, at first we weren't really sure with some of the ways we did the design, but Sean Sawyer and I were playing some mixed legacy games the other day, and he built a deck with X-Man, Ra, Morgan Le Fay, and Silver Sable in the back, and it was incredible. It was so good.
Did you use a battle sight?
It was once you put the battle sight in, it's just you can keep them alive. And I really thought, looking at Ra was one of the ones that almost nobody stuck with. People would try Ra in the playtest and then be like, not for me. And then watching Sean play him, I'm not going to give away strategy, but he was doing something a little bit different with him in Modern. It was like, oh yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what kind of mixed decks we get.
I think that the creativity is going to be all over the map, and that's just I literally am grinning ear to ear. My excitement for seeing what people do is palpable. It's going to be so fun.
And Scott Flint says he humbly accepts all credit for Doug and Phil's hard work. I know it was tough without my comedy in the beginning. Oh yeah, Scott, it was so tough.
I mean, I can tell you that when we read all the reviews, it's the first thing they call out is the change in the podcast when Scott brought his comedy.
Yeah. All right, everybody, thank you again so much. We have 79 views while we were live and 25 likes. Thank you so much. So if you haven't given us a like on your way out, that'd be great.
Boom. 79, whatever. I just did one.
Thank you. I see it. 26. And
26.
And make sure you share everything that you get in the next couple of days. We'll be watching. I will even put it in the Discord. I promise.
The last plug before we go too, guys,
Sure.
Ask your game stores about it. Our Judge and Ambassador program's done. We had people play testing the tests over the weekend on the Discord. But the way that this is gonna be big by play communities in small areas. Yeah. So pick out your store, tell them you're gonna be an ambassador, and build out a community at your local store. That's the best way to make this keep growing. The more stores that buy in, the more allies we have on our side, the more the community's gonna grow, and it's great.
Yep. All right, guys, we'll see you all real soon. Keep watching. Thanks. All right. We're out. Joe, thanks so much, man. That was great.
Oh, anytime. It's a blast. I love it. Thank you.